Alright, so what up guys? Today I'm basically going to be teaching you how to go from wheelies like this to wheelies like this. Stay tuned.
Mama, I made it to Forbes. Look, Mama, I made it to Forbes. Yeah, look, Mama, I made it to Forbes.
Find a closed off road. This is very important. This is where I am. It's a fucking neighborhood development where there are like 2 houses built, but nobody lives here yet. So it's just fucking construction workers and open roads. So first things first is you want to be comfortable with your bike, okay? At least have, you know, a good amount of time of riding experience and a good amount of time of riding experience with the current bike you're on. Now, I'm gonna say, for obvious reasons, I'm on a dirt bike, so this is gonna be more applicable to dirt bikes, but all this information is pretty universal to any bike out there. Second thing, this is how I learned. This is by no means a professional tutorial, and by no means am I telling you that watching this video is gonna make you wheelie good. But these are the pointers that helped me learn how to wheelie the way I can now. Okay, so that being said, first thing I started off with was just first gear power-ups. Just fucking both hands on the bars and just lift the throttle a little bit. And your front wheel's gonna come up on pretty much any big bore bike, as long as it's like 250 or above, and your front wheel's probably gonna power up. Now this is within reason. I'm sure like a Ninja 250 probably won't power up. It's possible, but I've never tried it, so I wouldn't know personally. If you can't get your bike to power up, just don't even worry about these first couple of steps. I'll get back with you on that one. Sure, it'll be step number 3 that you pick back up on. And then after I kind of got comfortable with those, what I started doing is second gear power-ups. Now these, even on a bigger bore bike, you're still going to need to pull on it a little bit. And that's, I've only started doing this once I feel comfortable with just like, you know, blipping it up a little bit. Now with these, what I'll do is I'll go and same thing, just draw it out a little longer. Just doing that little power up, you know, nothing huge, just get the front wheel off the ground and kind of get used to it. Now this whole time, I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but what I did first is, before I even worried about the rear brake, is I was just doing these little blips. Now, if you're an inexperienced rider, you might get your front wheel up and then whiskey throttle and freak out. This is why I said you need to be experienced. So, from there, basically what you need to do is kind of start trying to ride them out, chase them out a little further. Okay, on just these power-ups. Okay, so, you know, then you'll start chasing it out and chasing it out further and further and further up until you're hitting rev limiter like this. And then it just goes down because you don't have any more power. Okay, progress is progress. Now from there, you're going to want to kind of start playing with clutch ups. Clutch ups are very, very easy, but very, very intimidating if you don't know what you're doing. So, I'm going to explain this to you. Very simple. It's very easy. All you have to do is get in pretty much any gear other than first, because first is going to be really fucking twitchy. So, I started off doing clutch ups in second. And what I did is I rolled on the throttle and just blipped the clutch, and that's it. Alright, I'll try to slow this down for you guys and see if you can catch it. But all you gotta do is roll on the throttle clutch. Okay? Now you're going to be doing the same thing you were in the first place, just popping it up. You don't need to be riding it out or anything yet. Just kind of get used to popping it up and get used to how fast it comes up and how it feels and all that good stuff. Okay? So all you're doing is just rolling on and blip the clutch. You don't need to pull it in, redline it, and dump it. That will loop your fucking bike out quicker than you know, unless it's like a fucking 125 or some shit. Even a 2-stroke would probably loop out because they're fucking fast. But anyway, so from there, what you're going to be working on is kind of starting to chase those out a little further, okay? Now, this is about where you want to start, you know, trying to worry about your brake. You don't want to fucking go and, oh, yep, I'm going to hit balance point, oh, yeah, blah, blah. No, don't fucking do that shit yet. Now, what you're going to do is just start chasing out these little second gear clutch ups a little further. Up until you're, you know, getting a little further, hitting the red line like you were with the power wheelies. You want to get very comfortable with the clutch ups because these can potentially go very wrong because you're putting a lot of power and then just releasing all that power at once, okay? So that's why I said just blip it. You don't need to fucking go and dump that shit and fuck your life up. Another thing you need to do when practicing wheelies is wear some fucking gear. I've got riding pants, I've got a jacket, I've got gloves, and I've got a good helmet. Please, for the love of everything, wear some fucking gear when you're doing this shit because it's very easy to bust your ass, okay? Thank you. So once you start chasing those out a little bit, what you need to do is you need to go and start trying to embed in your brain that your back brake should be your first instinct and that will help you not fall. So instead of putting your feet down, because I'm guilty of doing this, I've done it before, everyone who hasn't used their rear brake yet and is working on wheelies has almost looped and put their feet down. I can almost guarantee it, unless you're just really lucky and really skilled and a very fast learner. Start using your rear brake to bring your wheel down. Even if you're not getting up super high, just tap that rear brake just to bring it down, just to kind of embed in your mind that will bring you down and that'll help out and you'll be okay. So I'll see if I can't look at this. Like I said, there's nobody on this fucking road besides like maybe that person, and I can see them coming from a mile away. So just tap your rear brake. That's all you got to do. Is just tap it. Don't slam on it. As long as your brakes are properly taken care of, have good hydraulic fluid in it, and you got fucking good brake pads and all that shit, your brake will bring you down and you will be fine. Okay, so just over and over again, all the time, non-stop. Do this for like a week. And it'll just kind of click into your brain and you'll just get the muscle memory to instinctively just hit your brake if you go back too far. Okay? So, just hit that brake. Hit that brake. Every time and you're good. So pretty much from there, all you got to work on is bringing it back further. Now, when you're trying to get closer to balance point, go ahead. Now, when you're trying to get closer to balance point, what you need to look for is this right here. I don't know if the camera's angled right, but you're going to be looking right in between this little area or this little area, whichever is your preference. It's totally fine either way. If you feel more comfortable, you can turn the bars and see if you can get a wider view, or you can cock your head over, whatever you want to do. That's totally fine. That's what I do. I just kind of lean over and look through. You want to be looking down along your fork tubes, and your forks are going to be almost level with the ground. They might be pointed down just very slightly, but as a general idea, for just about any dirt bike and most sport bikes and all that fun stuff, is you're going to be looking right down your fork tubes. And like I said, it may be pointed down a little bit. That's totally fine. Sport bikes have a little bit higher balance point than dirt bikes do, but if you look when I throw one up, you can see I'm looking right through here. that's pretty much it. Even that was a little bit of a chaser. I'm still practicing and working on getting to balance point and working on my brake and throttle control. So, and from what I understand, the best way to learn is to teach. So I'm teaching you guys how to wheelie, and you know, if anybody has any comments or anything or has any feedback, feel free to ask. We're both very responsive. We're both always willing to be helpful and all that good stuff. So thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. You know, I really appreciate all that stuff, guys. You know, appreciate the love. And, you know, just hit us up if you have any questions. Like the video, share the video, all that good stuff. Alright, later, guys. Oh, guys, I want to say huge shout out to B-Rad Moto for helping me out, helping me figure out how to use my rear brake and get proper throttle control. I really appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot for, you know, helping me out when you were down here in Texas visiting. But yeah, peace.
That shit like wine time. Joking, baby, I'm pimp type. I'm used to being there one.